After the great start we made in episode 2, I think those transfers are coming back to haunt me, and I think the wheels are about to come off. Roll intro. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Non-League to Glory. I'm Adam. On today's episode we have a home game against Boston and a home game against Chester. Since you were last with me, we have had not so great form. Following on from where I left off after Blyth, we beat York 1-0, we beat Telford 2-1. And then things got a little dicey. We lost 2-0 to Altrincham, drew 1-0 with Hereford where we were lucky to escape with the point, and we created nothing against Spennymoor when we lost 1-0. So I was hoping to come back in here and tell you I was top of the league and we were really marching on to National North victory. Unfortunately those wheels seem to have come off. Thankfully, because of the early good form, we remain 4th. It's Spennymoor who've just beat us, who are 4 points clear of us. Since you were last with me, I have been busy in the transfer market, and nothing really major. I think last time you saw us, we had Stanton and Garmendia. We also added Faig, Kimpioka, and Eccles on loan, just to strengthen the squad. And then we made a lot of youth signings such as Kianyari, who is a attacking midfielder, can also play centre midfielder, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, and formerly of Burnley. We signed Harren Chowner, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, a Chadian 19-year-old striker who was from Rennes. We also signed Omar Torre, a Malian 21-year-old striker, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, was with a Jassio. We also added Tillman Yarn, who is a 20-year-old German attacking midfielder, can also play up front, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, was with Borussia Mönchengladbach. We also added Dylan Milandu, a French 20-year-old centre-back, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, from US Orleans and also Le Havre. And Devonte Arancibia, English attacking midfielder, also actually a right winger who is comfortable in playing in attacking midfield, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, and was formerly with Norwich. That being said, the majority of these are on low wages, £45 to £65 per week wages. It bolsters the squad and gives us opportunities when we have some good players who may potentially not be with us very long, maybe either January, or if we really look till the end of the season. We have also managed to get rid of Shane Killock, who we were struggling to offload. He joins Gloucester City. They are paying 100% of his wages. He leaves at the end of the season, and so it basically just gets him off our wage budget. We've also sent out Odysseus Spirides, who's gone to FC United, and Ethan Stanton to FC United, just to give them some experience, see if we want them around next year. They're only on a year's contract, but we'll see how they progress. So today's game will be against Boston at home. Before I forget, let's look at the finances. So on wages, I have a wage budget of $7,060, and that's because we use a lot of the transfer budget on that, with transfers coming in. But I am spending $8,315. That's likely to go to $8,515. And so we do need to cut back on transfers, and we also need to trim that wage bill down. We are 56,000 in the red. That is projected to be 475,000, and so we could do with a cut run on this save this season. If we look at the club vision, they're very pleased that we are in the top half of the North. reserving judgment on everything else apart from working within the wage budget where we are struggling. But to summarise, the board are pleased with your management of the team, and it's B-. We've also, as you may have noticed, we requested an under-23s team, and so we now have that. You can see that's been completed. We also have gone on a coaching course, so completion 30th of the 6th. That's not right, it's 4 months, I think. Oh yeah, that's when they approved it, so it's another 4 months after that. So by the end of October, November, we will have another qualification under our belts, which always looks good for the next job that's coming. So today's game we play Boston, and we go with a team of O'Brien, Johnson, Romano, Ferrari and Adu Pepra at the back. Van Korvenberg, Gautier, Otranto, Simmons, Najari with Angel up top. Simmons does play on that left hand side. That's because we have international duty for Dorian Samba and Kim Pioka, who could play there. Tal is also suspended after a second red card of the season, and Mate is also on international duty. We don't have anybody that can come in and play on that left hand side, perhaps Dylan Faye, but we're trying to get his match fitness up, so he's been playing in the reserves, and so Selly is probably the one that'd make do in that position if we have to make the changes. So let's get this game underway, and hopefully we can get back to winning ways. I think calmly. If we play our game, we will win, and we are capable of that. So we're underway against Boston. Boston are 20th at the moment, 7 points. I mean, with the squad we've assembled, we should, after the first few performances, be playing even better now, and it seems to have gotten worse. So hopefully those times are behind us today. Although the passing has been a bit astray in these first 30 seconds. O'Brien's going to collect that. Plays it out, and it's Ferrari to Adu Pepra. Plays it along to Simmons. Simmons over the top again to Angel. He's not used to playing on the series, but Angel's beat him, and the keeper saves. We could have been 1-0 up. It would have been nice. It's corner now, and it's Otranto. And it's in, and Crook saves. Otranto in those first 4 victories, apart from the I think he missed a penalty and had that first poor performance. When he's played, we've played. When he hasn't played, we've been in trouble. We got an injury there. So, okay, Simmons, he can run it off, but Najari's through, and Crook saves. Timid efforts so far. We are having the majority of them and the possession, but it's not really coming to anything. Valkenberg already booked. Johnson back to Van Korvenberg. I might just change his name to VC because I'm struggling. Otranto now is going to pick up that loose ball. Adu Pepra, who crosses, and there's a goal, and it's Najari. Najari scores from Pepra, and we are 1-0 up. And this is better than the last few games we've played. And he normally wastes his opportunities. He has done so far this season, but Adu Pepra with the cross, and Najari puts it in that bottom corner, and it's 1-0. We don't need to see, we know it was onside there. We're straight from the kick-off to an highlight here as well. It Shields over the top, and Van VC has done well. Angel's through now, and it's 2 straight, almost straight from the kick-off. 30 seconds, Angel scores. Pepra with another assist, and we may be back to winning ways at North Street. Adu Pepra and over the top, and Angel so good at those, and it's 2-0. It's Penny to Walford, Walford to Green, Green Akpra, Walford out to Whittle, and Rollins has got through, and O'Brien saves. It will be a corner. It's Green, and Shields is over. So we've dealt with what we've seen from Boston so far, and we have responded well. Adu Pepra, who I was considering dropping for Fague once fit, looks like he knows about it, and he's making sure he keeps his place. Najari's through again here, and that's more like the Najari I know. Does waste an awful lot of opportunities, especially does when he has some options. It's Romano now to Johnson. Johnson to Najari. Najari over the top. He's played it through to Angel, and it's a penalty. It's a clear penalty. Otranto's going to take this. He missed on the episode last episode. He missed the penalty. Can he make up for it? He does. It's not the greatest penalty, but it's in, and we're 3-0 up. 35 minutes gone, and I'm glad we're back in the form for this episode. Don't think we need to see that penalty again. But 3-0 up. Another highlight here. 35 minutes gone, and this is a team that I knew. VC to Gautier. Gautier tries to take 2 on, draws them out, and VC's there. VC inwards to Otranto. Otranto's put Angel through, and Angel, it's 4-0. 4-0, and Angel is there with his 5th goal of the season. Otranto involved again, and it's just an amazing performance. I'm glad that it's worked out like this for our game in this episode, rather than being off air. We don't need to see that for a 3rd time. But 2 goals for Angel. Najari, who normally wastes his chance, and Otranto, who is, when he plays, we play. He is a Ferrari of this team. Passionately say, I am very pleased with the way it's going. Let's get this second half underway. And Johnson picks up that loose ball. Boston have been wasteful. Angel is through again. He has got some people to be, and he gets it in. It's a hat-trick for Angel. It's 5-0. And this could become silly if Boston don't start to deal with us. It's Chiori Johnson with the assist this time. Right from the back over the top. Route 1 stuff. Angel knocks it down. He has got some work to do, so that is a good goal for Angel. Hat-trick for him. Boston, who are just happy, even from a free kick, it seems to get it out of their own half, that Johnson picks it up. Romano and back to Billy O'Brien. We're going to praise the way that they're playing. Knocking it about for fun here. Johnson beats his man. Plays it over the top. It's Najari who's tackled. I think Kim Pioca is due a run on that right hand side. I know Najari scored today, but he does waste an awful lot down that right hand side. Boston finding their feet, and it all goes wrong again, and Simmons, who has been quiet, not used to playing on that left, has taken on a couple there and takes a shot. I mean, he's looking like he needs to come off. So let's get Simmons off. We're going to play Selly there. Now, we are limited to options, but I do want to get somebody attacking in there. It's VC, knocks it back, and it's Johnson over the top for Najari to run onto, and let's see if Najari can take advantage. Straight at the keeper, and it's I mean, he could have had a hat trick himself today. The opportunities that's presented have been a lot easier, but it's 5 and I can't complain. It's a straight ball to Knowles, who can line that through for Wolford. And that is absolutely woeful. We have been the absolute best team for the entire match up until this point. Boston have just robbed us of a clean sheet there. All through our fault. Again, we can't pick up. And we're just not stopping things. And we should be, especially in this system. They've had 3 on target and they've scored with their third one. It's Thulis with the goal, and it's Johnson, VC, Johnson over the top, and it's to nobody. We're not recovering that, and that goal seems to have knocked a bit of the sail out of our wins. And there's Knowles through, and that could have easily been 2. Now Pepper keeps it in and just boots it out anywhere. Ever since that praise was given, we've stepped off. Tell them to concentrate. They're opening us up for fun now, and they're all confusion there. We're lucky to get away with this. O'Brien spectacularly dives to the floor. Romano now. A lot of highlights, plenty of opportunity in this game. Angel's through, and he can't score 4. No, he can't. And that's out. Easy for the keeper there. Knocks it to the side, away from him. Let's see if we can change this up a little bit. Johnson's struggling a little bit. Bainbridge is going to come on. And we're going to bring Fontana on for Gautier and play these last 15 minutes. And it's Adu Pepra, Angel, Otranto, Adu Pepra. It's in, and Najari's there, and he could have had another. He's had an handful of chances today. I know he's put one away, but he could have had probably 5 himself. We're going to run out winners convincingly in this, but there has been worrying signs, and probably the worrying signs that were present for the whole of the last 3 games. Thulis, Wolford, Jackson, and it's in, and Knowles, and they've scored again, and we've not dealt with it. He's on his own, and we've conceded 2, and it's lucky we've put 5 in, because Boston have been woeful and managed to score 2 goals. It was disappointing. It was really good the first half, and the second half just fell apart. So on to today's game against Chester, we go with a little change. So O'Brien in goal, we have Johnson on at right, Tal is back in with Romano, Adu Pepra. So on to today's game, and we have a couple of changes. So Johnson's at right, Tal is back in the team after his suspension. Romano and Adu Pepper. O'Brien keeps his place in goal. Suspension to VC, so Otranto drops back in there. We're going to bring Eccles in to play with Gautier. Najari stays on the right because Kim Pioca is still on international duty. Angel keeps his place up front after his hat-trick in the last game. And Simmons, it continues on the left again because Kim Pioca. So we have Samba, Kim Pioca, Meite, and also now Chowner on international duty. VC suspended, Garmendia's recovering from injury, and then we have Cork and Bainbridge. Faye comes onto the bench, Fontana, Selly, Ferrari onto the bench, and our new signing Adrian Fernandez. Adrian Fernandez is a former Real Madrid goalkeeper. He is a 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. We're paying him just £50 per week. He is a breakthrough prospect, and that relegates our other keeper to the development team. Let's get this underway as we look to continue the previous. I want you to pick up from where you left off last time, and I'm just realising we didn't leave off in a great place. Hopefully they get the message that that was meant for the first half and not for that poor second half that we played against Boston. We're at home again, and a couple of victories would set us up coming into the next chunk of games we play. Angel, Eccles, Adu Pepro had a great game last time out. Gets to Simmons, who's playing on that unfamiliar left hand side, and it was obvious. I don't think Najari can play on that. I mean, it makes no difference. I don't have anybody then to play Najari's place. We're just struggling for depth despite the big squad I've assembled. But Otranto now over the top, and it's Angel who runs onto it. He's got some work to do, and it goes miles wide, almost to the corner flag there. He was great, or has been good in those instances though. 5 shots and 1 on target, 54% possession. Chester out of Boston though, you can see they're 9th in the table at the moment. Otranto over the top again, Angel runs onto it, and the keeper easily takes that. So Angel seems to be playing like a Najari at the moment. Otranto's playing really well as that defensive midfielder though. I don't know if they've been unlucky or they need to get back into. I am going to say they've been unlucky because there has been plenty of chances to put us 1-0 up. Simmons isn't having a great game on that left hand side. Najari is back to his self. Griffiths. So over the top, Rydal picks it up. Waters over the top, but Tal takes that out. Gautier, and another ball over. Angel runs onto it, and this looks better for him. Keeper makes a save. Angel has missed a fair few chances this game to give us the lead. Rydell, Burton, and they're going to get this away. Burton, who plays it to Jackson, who picks up the ball, and he's running, and I thought the way it stopped there that Pepper was going to get sent off. He's not even been booked. O'Brien, Romano, big ball. Simmons picks it up, plays it to Pepper. Pepper over the top. Angel, Simmons again. And I am going to see what changes we can make. Let's play Simmons as the inverted winger. See if that helps. Angel's having a poor game. He's going to come off for Selle, which is quite surprising coming off the amazing game he had last time. Pepra is going to come off for Faig, and Eccles, who hasn't set the world alight, is going to come off for Fontana. It's Rydell now, plays it inside, it's Burton, plays it through an awful ball, and Romano's picked that up and releases Angel, who chests it and shoots, and it should have been a goal there. We should have been 1-0 up. 3 changes then, and Otranto to take this. Selly misses it completely. Otranto seems to be trying to drag us to try and get that goal. It's just not happening at the moment. Rydell, Waters, and they haven't threatened really bad all game, and they don't there, but Johnson doesn't clear. Oh, and it bobbles, and Romano gets it away. And another poor second half, I think, with the exception of Otranto, who has been great again. And we get a highlight halfway through a shot, and it's a draw. We keep a clean sheet, which is a small consolation. I am gonna say they're unlucky because we created so many chances, and just noticing that after we've just destroyed Boston go and destroy Brackley 6-0. So Faig's debut. Let's have a look at the league then, as we, after 9 games, are in 4th position, 17 points, 5 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, a goal difference of 8. We are 5 points behind York, but a 5-point gap has developed between us and Telford, and it is quite tight across the table down to there, but gaps already opening. We have Angel, who's the top scorer. Otranto is the best average rated. Van Korvenberg, or VC as I'm calling him, has 5 yellow cards. He tops there. Let's have a look at the schedule. So we've just come out of those 2 games, a 5-2 victory over Boston and a 0-0 draw with Chester. We now face Kidderminster, Gateshead and then Leamington, plus the FA Cup game. We then play Brackley, Kettering, Kings Lynn. What I might do is get a good chunk of these games out of the way and come back for you to join us as we play Guiseley and Farsley. Been a good episode, back to some sort of form. Thank you for joining us.
We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.